Okay, we're back and we're going to continue on doing some more little details here, and part of the details are the eyes. The eyes are so small, and I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to go through with some matte white and jungle green, and we'll mix these together to get kind of just a very slight green to the white, and we'll coat the eye. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll come back with a Citadel Tesseract glow to go over that, and then we'll come back with the white to try to do the pupil, and I don't know, we'll see how this goes. Eyes are very problematic in the fact that they're so small, and I might even have to use my glasses, my magnifying glasses, to get all this done. So, with my hand shaking at times, sometimes that can be problematic. So we're gonna add a little bit of water to that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Good enough for government work. And now, on to the hard part. And we're going to try to zoom in on this, and we're using the automatic focus. So we'll see if we can't keep this in focus. We'll get a little bit of that. Now, like I said, this is something that's really hard. At least for me, anyway. We're just gonna coat that in there. A little bit kind of went over, but I think that'll be okay. Let's see if we can get this part here. Okay, I think that worked out well. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back and we'll come back with the Tesseract green and see how that glow goes. Okay, so now that the eyes have dried, and we'll zoom in here and you can take a look at that. That turned out pretty good. It's a nice kind of a pale green. That turned out well, and hopefully when we use this Tesseract, and with that, hopefully this will turn out pretty good. I'll just get a drop of that. That is pretty bright. I mean, look at that. That is like crazy. So, what we'll end up doing, we'll just kind of zoom in here, and we'll see what kind of action we can get. Just gonna put a little bit of water on there. I mean, it's pretty watery as it is, but just add a little bit more and we'll see how this goes. Like I said, I'm not a professional at doing this, so you get to travel along with me. I think that'll be pretty good. Just kind of load that up a little bit. So I think that turned out okay. We might have to do a couple of coats on this. So, see if we can get this eye. I think that turned out good. I'll go ahead and let that dry. And we'll see how that turns out. And then we'll go back and we'll put a tiny little bit in there. We'll put a tiny little bit of white in there. And hopefully we can get the look that we're desiring. Like I said, we'll go ahead and we'll let that dry and move on to the next part. Alrighty, we're back, and the eyes turned out pretty good, as you can see right there. Let's see if we can zoom this in just a tiny bit more. I'm pretty happy with those eyes. Those things turned out really good. And what we're going to do is we're going to continue on and try to put a pupil in there somewhere. That is going to be interesting. So let us jump on this, and we're going to use some matte white. And this is just going to be a tiny bit because all we're going to do is the pupils. So we'll just get a tiny drop like that. And again, all we want to do is just get a dot in there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use our little magnifying glasses here. See if we can zoom in a little bit and see if we can just get a little dot on there. And we do have the dot. We're going to try to make it into a you can see that there. We'll see if we can't make it into an eye shape. That's okay, except the left side is a little bit bigger than the right. Try to add a little bit of like that. So how's that look? That looks pretty good. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. I think that will work out. See how far we can close in on this. So there. We're able to get that white in there. We've got the green, and I'm going to call that good. I think that'll work. That's probably the best eyes that I've gotten with the limited amount of practice that I've done. I think that works. So with that, we have got the eyes. I think those eyes are the hardest thing to get. So yeah, we continue on with that. So we've got some good eyes. We're going to call that a win, which I like. And the next thing we're going to end up doing is I think we're going to do a little bit of work on the base. And I have some AK ground coming in. Kind of a brown texture, kind of a muddy type base, because I want to try to get more mud around here. And actually, if you zoom into this base, I actually did some detail work on here and I forgot to press record. So we'll kind of give you an update on that. So what you can see here is that I went back with a little bit of gray, but then I came back with some lighter colors and edged those on the stones so that you can see, like right along the edges there, kind of drew some crack marks and things like that to give it a little bit of depth. And so that will kind of break up some of the monotony of just having one color of gray and that little bit of, what do we have on there? We had a wash on there. So by doing a little bit of edging, we add a little bit of character to the rocks and the stones. And I think that turns out pretty good. A little bit of moss. Or should I wait until after? I guess we could do a little bit of moss. Let's do that. Now the moss effect is pretty nice. We'll just put a little bit around there. Maybe we'll just try some on the back here so we can get some of the cracks and crevices, and we'll see how that goes. So let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Kind of angle this to where we can actually see what's going on. What we'll end up doing is we'll just take a little bit and we'll see how that goes. A little bit of green in there. You can see it's already starting to pull up. On the front side, let's put a little bit in here. And we'll still go back with a little bit of that AK brown. We'll just put a little bit of this here and see how that turns out. Not going to get too crazy with it. I think that green will turn out good. Add that little bit of interesting color there. So there we have it. That is the base. I think that'll work out well. So that's what we got going on, folks. That'll be it for today. We'll go ahead and we'll let this dry and see how it turns out. And the next thing we'll end up doing is we'll wait for that AK ground, little brown ground stuff to come in, and we'll kind of do some splotches around there because it's a lot of brown. I think that'll balance that out really well. So yeah, not bad. That's what we got going on for today. So we're not going to push it any more than this. So if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate that. And we will see you on the next part. From the base, we've got some color coming in on the base, and as you can see, the eyes turned out pretty well. The details, all of the little things that we've done has really shown that this Blood Angel is coming into its own. It's taken a lot of time, but it's looking really good. As we see in the pictures, probably going to do some more details, like trying to add some lettering onto the purity seals. Again, we're going to do the base, but it is turning out really nice. So be sure to like and subscribe to continue and see the final product of this Blood Angel. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to stay up to date with what's going on with us. The Buried Life is we're retired in Korea. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.